Oh yes, the Supreme jacket. Truly one of the finest garments you can ever get yourself, especially if it happens to be a collaboration. Whether it's for staying warm, feeling stylish, or a little bit of both, there's just something about Supreme jackets that keeps us coming back for more. In this video today, I'm breaking down every single jacket dropping from Supreme Fall Winter 2025, giving my thoughts and opinions on it, what I think the best items are for resale, what I think the stinkers are, and everything in between. So if you love staying up to date on Supreme and other related streetwear content, be sure to hit like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the noti bell so you can stay up to date every single time I post and go live. We've been making our way through the preview one category at a time, and of course we're going live on Thursday 1 hour before the drop, 7 a.m. 10 a.m. PST EST. You won't want to miss it. And with all that out of the way, let's get into it. I really can't tell you guys how happy I am to make all these videos. I just get so excited to talk about Supreme. And we are going to start from the bottom, make our way to the top. First up, we have this Polartec Shearling reversible pullover. These are pretty nice. They're not extremely fancy, but you do have a box logo on it, and it looks to be pretty warm. So much stuff to read down there. Interior elastic Schott cord, water resistant nylon. I mean, this one's got camo on it, for crying out loud. Arctic camo at that. This is nice. Anytime you can get a reversible piece, anytime you can get a pattern on it, I think it's dope. And I've been loving all the Arctic stuff they've been doing this season. I'm gonna have to get at least one of them. It's also available in pink. This is a great piece. It's got the Shearling fleece. Yeah, dude, the Supreme logos, 2 boxes. I think this has some potential to resell, depending on the retail. Let's move to the next one. Another Polartec and another reversible item, this time being a track jacket. I like the full zip closure that you can actually hide with the Velcro placket there. That's kind of clean. Woven logo at the lower front. Don't forget to zoom in, Thomas, of course. Shot cord, double pockets. Clean. There's the inside, features more of that fleece. There you go. And what other colors do we have? All right, camo, we got blue, we got black. I dig the camo as well. The pattern is a bit different from the typical woodland that Supreme usually gives us, so that's a W. And I love the olive Supreme logo. I got a classic right here, micro down half zip hooded pullover. It's a Supreme puffer jacket with a bunch of these micro down materials inside. This is 700 down, this is micro down. What's the difference? I don't know. But apparently silver only has water resistant Pertex nylon with down quilted baffles. So the rest of it isn't water resistant? Okay, these colorways are sick, man. I can't figure out from the description alone, but the silver one looks cool and it sounds like it's special. There's also the orange tiger stripes colorway, which I think is pretty dang sick. Of course, you got pink, black, silver, kind of growing on me. This thing is dope. Bit of an aqua green or blue, and then you get the welcome to the jungle spec. Hell yes. Moving right along, we have the spell out embroidered ripstop track jacket, water resistant cotton, of course, embroidered logo at the front and the back sleeve. You got interior chest pockets, all kinds of stuff going on. The spell out stuff is always so clean. Just put it on a sleeve, looks good. 3 different colorways. These always do pretty well, and typically we do see matching pants to go along with them, so I wouldn't be surprised if we had some matching ripstop pants to go along with these 3 colorways. Naturally camo, sick. Blue is all right, and black is clean. I would probably be between black or camo. And look at that, we're not on the pants quite yet, but I clicked over one, and spoiler for the pants video, we do have matching pants. All right, the Coach's jacket. This thing is kind of dope. Old English ARC Coach's jacket. Water resistant again, not proof, but it'll resist, okay? We're gonna be fighting. It ain't gonna be a freaking even battle. It might be a losing battle, but we do have this Old English in the back, which I think looks super clean. I've never had a Supreme Coach's jacket. Maybe it's time to get one. It doesn't blow me away like I have to cop this, especially the colorways. They're fairly simple, but I don't mind the black one. Probably the best of the bunch. I'd have to see what the color of the text is on the red, but Coach's jackets usually do pretty good, and I think this one will also. Ooh, and before I click off this, we do have the other 3 colorways. Here's the red with black. That looks good, man. That's my favorite 100%. And then blue with the red as well. That looks pretty clean. Yeah, these are dope. I really like these. If they're not too expensive, might be a cop. I do wish there was a Supreme hit right here. The fact that there's absolutely nothing on the front, it makes it less wearable for me, just a little bit. Yo, the New York fleece jacket. Polar fleece with printed graphic, full zip closure, and zip hand pockets at lower front. Interior elastic Schott cord for your hem in case you're skinny like me and need to pull it tight on a cold winter day. This is nice. You got New York City, Statue of Liberty, New York, bunch of other techs like Broadway and probably other streets, Manhattan, 1788. You got red. Is it just these two colorways? It's 3. They also gave us white. It's a decent piece. Supreme being based in New York, they're always gonna drop hella New York inspired garments. This one is no different. It's not a graphic that I would gravitate towards, but it's a nice design nonetheless. Next up, the contrast piping track jacket. We have the accursed script logo, who I have a love-hate relationship with. It's growing on me a bit, but it's not my favorite Supreme logo of all time. I'll tell you guys that much. We do get water-resistant supplex. Okay. But yeah, this piece is very mid. Nothing special at all. Fairly boring. Forgettable. Even if it has matching pants to go along with it, which it does, because of course it does. There's just nothing going on for this piece, and it's something that probably will end up on a sale. If not, certainly not going to be hype. Now this is much better. We have the plaid track jacket, which you can read it right there. Water resistant supplex. Not even kidding you guys. Embroidered logo at the placket. I'm not big on the vertical text stuff either. Not to get too nitpicky. I don't think it looks that good as compared to a traditional horizontal logo, but I get it. Supreme has released thousands and probably tens of thousands of items at this point, so they have to at least mix it up somewhat. I do understand that. These are pretty clean. I do like the colorways. I think these also do have matching pants. I remember this from the preview, so we're getting a bit of a spoiler for the pants video, but I think that's good to cover that because you can really put an outfit together if you're basing it on matching, or maybe you want both of them, and maybe seeing the matching garment can at least help you decide which one you like more, because maybe you don't need both. I would say these yellow pants are my favorite so far over any one of these jackets. Just me personally, but still a nice pattern, and I dig the plaid, even if the text is meh. Next, we have the Supreme Umbro Gradient Track Jacket, which might be one of my favorite jackets coming out this season. We saw this in the lookbook, and it's just so clean, dude. You got the Umbro logo embroidered on the right, and on the left, world famous Supreme team. We've seen this on a number of different Supreme items in the past few seasons. Supreme Champions on the front, and that sick script font. I do like this script font. It's truly just the one with the little underline that I don't like. Champions along the front looks good. The gradient from a dark midnight navy to a bright teal is really good looking, with navy piping to break up the color blocking. Super dope. Supreme on the back, and the colorway, dude. This one here is the one to get. This might have to be a personal cop. It's been a while since I've had a tracksuit, and yeah, dude, it might just need to be done. It looks too good to not do it. I want to feel like English football player, and I feel like I need the Supreme Umbro jacket to do it. So far, this is my favorite jacket we've looked at, and I think this is going to do very well in terms of selling out, in terms of resale. People love their Umbro stuff, and Supreme did a very good job on this one. Ooh, the Supreme BB Simon hooded fleece jacket. You got Windstopper with Gore. Not Gore-Tex, Gore Windstopper. I guess Gore-Tex purchased Windstopper? Is that the case? Or there's a collab? Full zip closure, rhinestone studded. So we have the BB Simon Wolves fleece jacket. I'm not gonna lie, I showed my wife this piece last night and was like, hey, what do you think about this thing? And she was like, I don't like it. And I was like, really? I think it's sick as hell. I love stuff like this. I love Native American style, outdoorsy. I love wolves. I think they're dope. It just reminds me of gas station type t-shirts that are kind of cringe, like 3 wolves howling up at the moon, big graphic, you know what I'm saying? The shirts that people would wear, and they weren't cool back in the day, but then ironically they became cool, especially this purple and blue one. This is absolutely the one to get. Looks incredible. I think the brown one isn't too bad either, because I saw some pictures of it on Twitter. It's pretty hard to avoid spoilers when you're a Supreme YouTuber like me. I can't help it, but at least poke around a bit. But this is a great piece. I love the Supreme in the horizon there. The trees look so cozy, like it's northern Canada, Alaska. You know, we all got 2 wolves inside us. One is telling me to save money to buy a house. The other one is telling me to spend at least $250 to get free shipping. Ow! Keeping it going with the Supreme MLB collab, we have another White Sox item with the Stadium jacket, 3M Thinsulate, reflective sleeves it looks like, perhaps some piping as well. Official White Sox merchandise, made exclusively for Supreme, of course. Zoom in a little there. Color blocking on this one's all right. Very white, emphasis on the white. Socks looks dope. On the back, I like the slight tilt to it. Also have the natural there. You can remove the hood, which is nice. What other colorways? Okay, this matches the gloves that we looked at in the accessories that I did last. Hell yeah. Ooh, look at that. Big old socks in the back too. I mean, it's the same piece. What am I saying? It just looks good with the camo, I guess. Yeah, I like these pink camos. For whatever reason, these other different non-woodland and non-tree camo stuff never does that well, and I don't know why. I think camo is so cool. I love military patterns. I'm honestly surprised desert and Arctic do so much worse than you would think. Those probably would be the next two. So I'm curious to see how this pink will sell compared to black, because honestly, I really don't think the white one will do super well. I could totally be wrong, but this just seems like the most White Sox version of this item. Nice jacket overall. I think it'll sell out. Next up, a staple piece in the hooded utility jacket. Hell yeah. I mean, it doesn't look like a hood here, but perhaps you can zip it off. Well, there it is. There's the hood built right in, son. Embroidered logo on the chest with the Supreme Classic logo. I think that looks pretty good, even though it is tonal embroidered. 4 different colors. Not an extremely hype piece, perhaps a bit of a sleeper. Pockets look very good, and I think this will be fairly sought after. Nice mature piece. You can dress it up, dress it down. Stuff like this is what I'm gonna try to include in my wardrobe this season, more than maybe stuff like this. All right, the brothers Mitchell and Ness are back together, collaborating with Supreme. This time on a satin varsity jacket, okay? It's got satin with fill, shearling lining, quilted satin sleeves. Kind of nice. I like the ARC logo. I'm not in love with the pink on the red, but this Michelin S item looks better than the previous few seasons of Michelin S jackets. I wasn't a fan of that camo one. There was a couple other ones that just weren't that good. This one's pretty decent, and dude, the real tree, you know it's gonna sell out. That's gonna be the one to go for reselling opportunities. You can't go wrong with a camouflage jacket in 2025. It's just impossible to mess it up. You gotta be an idiot to do it, and some brands manage to do it. Looking at you, Palace. Oh yeah, dude. Faux shearling lined bomber. Yep, it's a W. I'm usually not huge on these faux fur shearling collars, but this one looks dope. I would have loved a white Supreme logo there, but we'll let it slide. You get the work logo down at the pocket and a classic logo on the back. Yeah, this looks nice. 3M Thinsulate elastic cuffs, dude. You got a removable hood, buckle closure, and my favorite is the plaid from the lookbook. I think that one looks really good. Black is clean as well. I'd love to see the back hit on the green plaid. If it's black, it would look good. Green could look all right as well. I have a feeling this bomber jacket will sell out. These have done pretty well in the past, but it's always good to just Google or search on StockX the name of the item, especially the week of when it's releasing, guys. I'll talk about it, of course, but do your own research. Supreme reuses a lot of these silhouettes, and that can give you a better understanding on whether an item's going to sell out or whether it's going to sit. Not every time, but it can be helpful. Jacquard logos denim trucker jacket. So this is the Supreme repeating over and over again, all cotton, 14-ounce denim with frayed Jacquard logo pattern, button front closure, on seam, hand pockets at lower front, yada, 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 yada. It's a Supreme trucker jacket. It's made of denim. Seen these plenty of times. I never buy them because they're expensive. I just don't really love denim trucker jackets, to be quite honest, even though I'm sure I could pull them off. I'm sure they'd be fun to wear. I just know this thing would sit in my closet for a majority of the year. I'd bust out a few times and I wouldn't really wear it, but this one's super loud. It's got the same vibes of my By Any Means Necessary with the brightness of the contrast. The camouflage looks good. I do think the matching jeans are a bit better. Again, we're spoiling the pants video, but that's all right. It's the matching set that counts, and I think you guys will understand. I definitely think the ones to go for are the woodland camo pants for sure, dude. Double knee painters, 100%, bro. You can skip the jacket. And it'll be more expensive too, most likely. The distressed trucker jacket, all cotton, 13-ounce Japanese selvage denim. Maybe, boys. I know I just said I don't like trucker jackets, but look at the fucking pin, dude. I know the price will scare me away when it comes out, but this is nice, dude. There's also a corduroy collar, man. Supreme Carhartt work logo. Dude, this is a sick piece. You got that selvage faded look to it. Holy crap. Zoomed way the hell out. Dude, the cotton corduroy collar. What other colorways do we have? The black tab, the wear marks. Ooh, the classic indigo denim. And then you got the orange salmon. I think the best might be black. It's definitely not the salmon. That is not a very good looking jacket. Matching pants as well. Maybe, just maybe. All right, another lookbook favorite is the Plaid Car Coat. It's the wool blend with 3M Thinsulate, faux fur lining, quilted taffeta sleeve lining, embroidered logo on pocket. You got a pin back button included. I also love this chain that they include on these higher tier items where you can hang it up in your closet or in coat check or wherever. It's got the y'all suck pin. I think that's fun. This is an awesome item. It's just having a good time. Plaid Car Coat. It's for the fancy man, the fancy gentleman. I gotta go with this colorway. The plaid from the lookbook, the tan natural brown. Matches your Travis Scott SBs, of course. Supreme Old English on the front. 3 large buttons, nothing crazy. You gotta be smoking some loose leaf tobacco in this. It just has to happen. Moving right along, what do you guys think about the season so far? Let me know in the comments down below and your top 3 jackets that you have to cop or that you're feeling so far. Reflective arc hooded work jacket is the next item on offer. This is pretty nice. I like a good arc logo. Work jackets are always clean from Supreme. They are on the more expensive side, but that's okay. They're high quality, nice and durable. You got 3M reflective and canvas logo. Okay, so the front logo is 3M, which is nice. That's very utilitarian. Keep you nice and safe in the mornings or at night. Favorite colorway, it might just have to be black. I like the plaid, but denim also looks good, and red's not bad. And here's the 3M showcasing what it looks like at night in the dark, and naturally we're gonna keep looking at the matching pants for spoilers later, but there it is, double knees with reflective 3M to match. The zip off quilted bomber jacket. You know, I just have never really felt the need to zip off my sleeves. I suppose skiing would be an exception, but I usually just keep on my outer layers and just take off the interior, leave on the outer jacket. I don't know, man. It's just not really a very common issue that I run into, so I don't feel the need to have a garment that suits this pretty much non-existent problem. Know what I'm saying? I'm sure for some people it might be novel, and it is cool that they are producing this item for the use cases where people might have. I just don't have it. The jacket does look pretty nice by itself. I like the quilted patterns there. The diamonds look sick. It is a nice bomber. Realtree, of course, will probably do pretty well, at least selling out and likely on the aftermarket, but I definitely don't need to zip off them sleeves. Get into some good stuff here in a second, guys. Supreme Dash Snow hooded work jacket. I was talking to the boy Luke Darnall on his stream yesterday, who, if you guys don't follow, my boy Luke Darnall, fellow Supreme YouTuber, streamed for 16 plus hours yesterday and somehow managed to talk about Supreme for most of it. I don't know how you would do that. I'm sure he talked about this. I didn't like this piece. I think some people will love it. I think it's got very bold and explicit text on here. She will destroy you. Seniors prepare for thug of war. Death Lake twist. Stripper guilty. It's just very in your face. Headlines. Fugitive wrecking. It could be one of those pieces that sells out too. I don't like it. I would never wear something with death, doper, escape, fugitive. Like, this is very schizo, but that could just be your style. Also, RIP to Dash Snow. Next, we have the BB Simon quilted work jacket. Saw this puppy in the lookbook, and I knew it was gonna be fire. It just is. Cotton corduroy collar. Look at that. You got the BB Simon logo, all the studs. There's the 3 colorways. My favorite's the one from the lookbook. We saw it earlier. We've already become accustomed to it, and we're vibing on it. I think that'll do the best. BB Simon still going strong. Matching pants as well. I am a little worried, guys, that we're seeing too much of the same things. It's nice to have returning collaborators, but Supreme is kind of going Nike a bit here. With Realtree doing it to death, BB Simon, I don't know. Just something to keep in mind. It's still a nice piece for sure. All right, here is that Gore-Tex shell jacket in the Wu-Tang swarm of killer bees. appreciate all y'all Wu-Tang enjoyers commenting on all the videos, like the lookbook and the sweatshirts, schooling me on all this B lore from Wu-Tang Clan. I think it's pretty dang sick. This piece is just awesome, and I think it's gonna do really, really well. I'm gonna go for it just to try to cop to resell and at least review, because I think this will be a no-brainer in terms of a selling out. It's Gore-Tex Wu-Tang, bright graphic. I think it looks really good. Supreme on the hood. The Swarm returns, dude. The olive one doesn't look bad either. Same with the black. Supreme and Gore-Tex, they always come out with plenty of jackets during the season, and this one will be no different. Probably gonna be 400 bucks, maybe even more for the Wu-Tang one. It definitely ain't gonna be cheap. And we got matching pants. Of course we do. Next, we have my new favorite jacket, which is gonna be a piece that I'm probably gonna have to cop for personal, right? And it depends on the price, of course, but the Supreme Vanson Leathers Gore-Tex shell jacket. I don't have any Gore-Tex in my wardrobe, thinking, no, I don't. So this would be nice to have. Certainly not for performance, but what I do think is crazy and definitely different is the fact that we have real companies on here. It's not a mock-up of K&N. It is K&N. It's not a bootleg of Snorkel. It's Snorkel. It is Wiseco Performance Pistons and Klon Synthetics, which in a way is cool, but also I kind of miss the old school Supreme when they would just rip off logos and do inspirations. Now they're just too big for their britches, so they feel like they can just go grab K&N. Still pretty cool, and that'll leave people like Warren Lotus, all the other parody companies, even Palace, and do you want to say Supreme is still going to do this in other aspects? But I don't know, just a random thought. But by no means does that take anything away from this piece. I think it's incredible. Man, if it's under 400, if it's 3 something, I'll go for it. Here's the one from the preview. A bit too white for my liking, but still pretty nice. I think I'm gonna have to grab it in black though. It's just too clean, and it matches my Ducati track pants pretty well with a little bit of the gray accents. I do wish there was a different color besides the blue. That could have been the colorful option. I'm just not a blue guy, and I have my Pally Rally racing jacket to kind of cover that base. White would be nice for my wardrobe, but black, dude, you just can't beat it. You really can't. Super sick piece. I love racing, so of course I'm gonna gas this piece up. The AOY Cross M52 jacket is next. It is a military spec. Okay, NYCO. Twill with fill and quilted taffeta lining. It is an Alpha Industries jacket, so it's gonna be expensive. Alpha Industries and AOY. I mean, the pockets are very high quality. You can see a Supreme logo there barely, but I'm just not a fan of this piece at all. I think AOY really missed on this one. I'm just not digging the cross. It doesn't measure up to the all over embroidery we saw last season with the flames. I mean, zooming in, the embroidery is nice, it's high quality, but with nothing on the front of the garment either, it's just pretty boring. I mean, the camo, it's decent. The jacket silhouette is good, just feels a bit unfinished and pretty disappointing for me. Once again, the Drill Team Varsity jacket, featured in the lookbook, featured on Ghostface Killa. By the way, folks, I have started listening to Supreme Clientele too, and it's pretty good. I fuck with it. Good album for sure. I gotta say, this jacket is growing on me. I know I said too many embroideries, but this one's doing it well. I love the cross-country logos here too. You got CC and the foot, East District Champs, 1999. Of course, you got my initials, TF, which is great. 94 Drill Team. The Chanel's popping off. I mean, this one looks the best. Ghostface wore it first as well. I think the contrast buttons look sick. Red, white, and blue, baby, for the US of A. I also like this light blue contrast. Back looks dope. I'm getting hot in this North Face, let me tell you guys. But we gotta keep it on for the rest of the video. So hit like and become a member if you haven't already. Link down below. $2.99 a month. You get access to exclusive chat icons, early access to some content, and more. Gotta give that plug when we're looking at 50,000 different jackets. Holy cow. Black colorway is nice as well. Nice interior. I wonder what the retail price will be. My guess is at least 550 bucks. Probably 598, but you never know. They could surprise us. Probably not. Supreme Drill Team. Hell yeah. Umbro has returned, this time with a leather track jacket. I failed to see the purpose of wearing a leather track jacket. I guess if you want a well, truly a track jacket and you want it to be made of leather, boy, do I have a garment for you. I, for one, don't really like to wear leather items like this. I don't even have a traditional like leather bomber outer jacket, which I feel like is your classic go-to, like a motorcycle jacket. That's like the first leather piece you get. I'm not even there yet. I'm still stuck on the leather belt gang, but it's Umbro, so I think people are gonna dig it. And it's got matching pants, of course. Not for me though. Much better Umbro item is this down puffer jacket, which I think is sick. This one is the navy colorway. Got a bit of a Michigan Wolverine spec here with the yellow contrast. We've seen this Supreme Unmatched Performance logo plenty of times on their various athletic items, the polo, rugby from last season. We've seen this logo already on the other track jacket. There's the back of the garment with the old English font and 10, which is dope. On the back of a puffer, don't see that too often. Super athletic looking. You got pink, which I think is gonna do really well. Pink is having that resurgence in popularity like it did back in 2015-16. The black is unmatched performance, one might say. And then finally, of course, you got black on red. Can't go wrong with a nice black puffer. I want to say this was in the lookbook, could be wrong. I definitely looked at it yesterday. I definitely saw it. There it is, Supreme Umbro puffer. This fella was absolutely in the lookbook. It is the leather yoke jacket. It's got the embossed logo, full zip closure, removable hood with elastic hem and cuffs. You can adjust that thing. You know, some pieces grow on you, other pieces just decay. And this piece is decaying on me. I'm liking it less. It just seems a bit half-assed. I don't know why you would want this big leather patch on the back of a puffer jacket. It's fine. I just think this would look better on a different garment, like the pony hair jacket blows us out of the water. Of course, that pony hair jacket is much more expensive. It went on sale though. Maybe this looks a bit better with white. It's the purple's not it. And perhaps it's just that. It's a colorway thing. I don't know. Black looks even better, so perhaps I just don't like the purple with the tan. It's a garment. I don't love it. Maybe you do, and that's okay. 2-in-1 Gore-Tex Parka plus reversible 700 fill down liner jacket. All right, this time waterproof, kids. No resistant around here except for the interior, and plenty of stuff to read down there. I've got to stop reading that because it's probably taking up too much of your time. But yeah, dude, this real tree shit is hard. The faux fur, I'm not huge on. I've said it a couple times in the past. I'll say it again. I don't care. Supreme Gore-Tex branding, dope. The nice thing about this garment, you can see what's happening. We're transforming. Autobots, roll out, take off the hood. There you go. Underneath, you got 2 jackets for the price of 1, except it's going to be taxed like it's 2 jackets in 1. You can believe that, but still it is cool that you have the versatility of a parka and then the jacket on the inside. But we're not even done there because the jacket can be reversed. So it's pretty much like 3-in-1 or 4 if you include the different combinations of the parka with the 2 different reversible jackets. I don't know. Maybe that's too much, but this is, wow. Is it really just 1 jacket? No. Okay. Yo, they're both reversible. Okay. Those are 3 different jackets. I was about to say, there's no way the parka reverses either. Yeah. Reversible nylon liner jacket. So right here, they're doing the classic mix and match that we saw from the North Face Nupsy from a few seasons back. I think it was spring summer 24 when we had the camo. So if you want to do that, you can trade with your friends with the liner jacket in the middle, knock yourselves out, have fun with it. The face mask 700 down puffer jacket. Now, if you live in a place with some frigid temperatures, maybe you need the 700 fill down puffer jacket. Zip up over your face with a knit balaclava on the inside. It is removable, but boy, this thing looks warm, and it might even be cheaper than the 2-in-1 Gore-Tex. It wouldn't surprise me, but this is fairly dope. I fuck with this piece. It's got a nice aesthetic to it. I know I say I don't normally like the faux fur stuff, but at a certain point, it's gotta just keep you warm. And it does. I've had jackets with this on it before, and it does help you stay warm if it can touch your face a little bit at your neck or whatever. The camo colorway is dope. Of course, black, blue, both are fairly nice. All 3 are pretty wearable, but definitely don't need that living here in Phoenix, Arizona. Stick with me, folks. We are making our way towards the last few items. Next up, the Cordura Snorkel coat. Out of all the faux fur items, this one's got to be my favorite. I just love the aesthetic of it. The faux fur, I think, actually adds to this piece. It's So for me, it really just depends. You gotta do it well. Got a Velcro flap at back with 3M reflective stripe applique, removable faux fur trim as well, which is dope. There's that reflective 3M stripe. You got Supreme on the back. This jacket's giving me vintage Preem vibes. It just is. There's the 3M popping off. I think this looks so good without the hood. I would never wear it with it. And I just dig the Arctic camo. I'm glad they keep using it. It was snowing down in Miami this season, and we're keeping it rolling into the fall. The black colorway really does nothing for me. Like, this piece is purely all wrapped up in the colorway. Do have some Cordura material. And tell me why this is called a snorkel coat. I have no clue. Is it snorkel ops? Black ops? Frogman shit? Navy SEALs? I don't know. Next up, the leather blazer. Very funny garment. Saw this in the lookbook. Lambskin leather, Jacquard logo, viscose lining, button front closure with patch hand pockets. I mean, it's a leather blazer, folks. No Supreme branding. You don't need it, and you don't want it. On a blazer, the branding needs to be minimal, if not non-existent. That's just the way it is, even if it's leather. You got the branding on the inside. That's what you need. You don't need anyone else to know. And yes, there are matching pants. We saw that in the lookbook. Not for me, but I can appreciate it. Jeff Hamilton, New York Yankees varsity jacket. Super sick. Another lookbook item that I dig. This thing is maximalist to the extreme. Reminds me of a quilt that someone would make with just every type of New York Yankee and Supreme logo they had lying around. Jeff Hamilton really goes hard with these jackets, and this one's no exception. I love the graphic design on it. The brushed cotton twill, chenille materials, knit rib. I don't think there's any leather. We got rhinestones, signed leather patch. Ooh, limited edition Yankees merchandise, in case you forgot. It's limited, guys. Genuine, too. There you go. Hell yeah, brother. Only one colorway on that, too. Ooh, but we do have this cowhide leather Chicago White Sox. I don't know why they just picked the White Sox and the Yankees and not any other teams, but Chicago getting their flowers, getting their love. And this was in the lookbook, too, I want to say. I remember this, calling that back design the Scarface with the white and black split down the middle. Very nice. White Sox leather jacket from Supreme. All right, the Schott leather racer jacket is next. These always do incredibly well. Mark my words, folks. Come release, this will sell out. And a few days or weeks later, it will be on StockX, selling for hundreds of dollars more than what it retailed for. I need you to just suck it up and buy one of these, even though they are a couple $100. They always resell. And what's crazy is they're never hard cops, because since it's expensive, it sits on the site for a bit. But full zip closure, double welt hand pockets, woven logo taping at interior, made in the USA. This is easily my favorite low-key Supreme piece or mature silhouette so far, because it is more of a fashion garment and less of a streetwear piece. Schott always keeps it super official. You could wear this jacket for 20 years and it would look good. It's already got that faded look to it, and I think it'll only look better with age. Personally, I wouldn't mind if they released it not aged, but that is also in style right now, so I understand why they did it. You also got the blue colorway, which that's bold. I wouldn't get this one personally, but I could see some people really freaking with this one, really absolutely taking them to the penthouse and freaking it with the blue cowhide leather, quilted nylon lining too. Supreme and Schott, NYC baby. It's gonna resell, guys. Just mark my words. Mark my words. Calling it too, this item is gonna do very well come release. Hooded faux fur jacket from Windstopper. We got this patchwork hooded faux fur jacket. It's got the drop liner on the inside, Jacquard logo, viscose lining. This thing is so sick. I love the way it looks. It's got the patchwork design to it. People love the patchwork, all the different fur colorways. It's got all the hallmarks of a classic Supreme item. I really fuck with it, and I think people will too. It reminds me of the Windstopper two-tone jacket that came out last season or 2 seasons ago. You know how I always forget it, but that thing did very, very well. And I think this one will too. Could also be a sleeper item of the week, especially with only one colorway, dude. Might be expensive as hell though. 3 jackets left, folks. Stick with me here. Supreme and Schott are back with a Shearling coat, and it's not really that cool of a piece. For me, the leather jacket takes the Shearling coat's lunch and stuffs it in a locker. Truly bullies it, mogs it. I just don't see the utility for wearing a jacket like this. It'll keep you warm, I'm sure. Made in the USA, which is dope, but I just don't really like the way it looks, and it's overly furry. Simple as that. I don't love the trim, so I wouldn't recommend buying it. Second to last item, we saw this one. Schott is back with a vengeance. They're returning. They heard my comment and they said, we'll make a third jacket for you, Thomas. This time being a shearling work jacket. So they took both garments. They took the shearling of the last one and the leather from the first one, and they put them together. And this one, albeit, is the worst colorway. We saw it in the lookbook. I think it's the worst one. This is getting better, right? You got the Arctic camo, which just looks super sick. This thing is dope as hell. I mean, zoom in on that sucker. Leather looks so premium. Quite frankly, looks buttery, even just from a picture from the back. Shearling on the inside, keep you nice and warm. And then of course you got black. Naturally, you got to keep it OG with the black leather, full zip, Supreme Work logo. I mean, boys, can we get a W in the chat if you're watching this live? Hell yeah, chat. Salute to y'all. Last item of the video, Vanson Leathers Supreme BB Simon jacket. It's the triple collab, and quite frankly, it's a return of kind of what I've been noticing this season, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but could have some underlying design features that we need to pay attention to. Now, let's talk about this garment first, and then I'll talk about my crackpot theory that I also saw posted online. I'm beginning to think it's happening, but before all that, very sick jacket. We saw this in the lookbook. Brown one, super dope. I love the Vanson leathers on the shoulders, the stars, the studs. I would even rock this piece, and I don't love leather and I don't love studs, but I think this looks really good, especially the orange one being that first item we saw from the lookbook of the entire season. This piece set the tone, and it's bold, it's bright, it's in your face. But the one negative I have, and it's not with each item's individual design, but it's the recycling of seeing Vanson leathers so many times over the past 3 years of this same logo. Like, I have this on a hat. You know, BB Simon, we got knocked over the head with it last season, and we're getting it again on a bunch of different pieces. I think Supreme is running the risk of overproducing all these garments, and I can't appreciate this piece as much as I would be able to if we hadn't already seen a ton of Vanson leather stuff. Not to take anything away from this garment, it's super dope. And not to end this video on a negative note, but let's just keep our minds open to that fact. And to be honest, I think Supreme needs a new creative director to take up the reins and push the brand in a direction one way or another. But I'll get off my soapbox and step down to the people. And boy, oh boy, in terms of all the jackets releasing, I'm pretty dang excited. There's a couple on here that I could absolutely see myself copying. Schott leather racer jacket. I wish I had the money. Watch out for this faux fur, okay? This windstopper could be a sleeper item. I'm not a fan of everything, of course. Plenty of just super warm jackets that I don't need. The 2-in-1 Gore-Tex, great bang for your buck, even though it's going to be expensive. Umbro down puffer. Drill Team is sick. This is probably my favorite still. Vanson leathers. Gore-Tex shell jacket. I think it's going to resell. The Wu-Tang. Favorite BB Simon item and very nice work jacket, regardless of how much they've done BB Simon. Reflective arc, can't go wrong. Faux shearling lined bomber. That could be another sleeper. Michelin Ness, pretty decent. The Wolves Fleece. I don't think it needed to be BB Simon, but it is. And then we got the Umbro gradient. Might have to grab that guy. The pink one especially is super sick. And the rest of the items are just so-so. Not too bad. Overall, I'm giving jackets an 8 out of 10. I wanted to give them a 7 because there's not a lot of pieces blowing my mind, but compared to sweatshirts, I think the jackets are much more consistent. There's more jackets that I like than I don't, and the misses are less bad, if that makes sense. They take less away from the better items. So hope you guys have been enjoying these videos today. I really yacked on this one. Gotta end this video and get to editing, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.